Have you ever thought about your past, about a mistake you made, and quietly asked yourself, if I had chosen differently back then, would things be better now? We've all had those moments. The quiet regrets, the lingering what-ifs, the memories that pull us back, leaving us sighing because somehow we still can't let them go. And if you're in one of those seasons right now, I want you to know you're not alone. Tonight, we'll walk through this together. We'll rediscover that quiet strength within you, the one that still remains beneath the pain in the past, waiting for you to notice it again. Because no matter what you've been through, no matter how many times you've fallen apart, you can still look in the mirror, smile through your tears, and whisper to yourself, you can be queen again. Hi there, I'm Wendy, and this is Heal and Grow Podcast, a gentle space where we learn to live a little softer and love ourselves a little deeper, one day at a time. I know that feeling. Those nights when you sit in the dark, not knowing where to start again, and maybe not even sure if you have the strength to. I've been there too. Back then, I truly believed that a broken heart could never heal, that once something shattered, it could never be whole again. But time has a gentle way of teaching us. It taught me that we can't go back and rewrite the past. We can only learn to see it differently. Viktor Frankl once said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And maybe that's what pain is, an invitation from life to become a deeper, wiser version of ourselves. So don't be too quick to hate your pain. It's not here to destroy you. It's here to shape you, to strengthen you, to help you see where your real power lies. Like fire testing gold, pain burns away what no longer belongs, until one day, you look back, and within the ashes you find a tiny light still burning, and that light has been you all along. When we were little, we grew up on fairy tales, stories where the princess just had to wait, and one day, a prince would arrive to rescue her from her sorrow. But in real life, no one comes, do they? No one can save us from our loneliness, unless we choose to stand up for ourselves. We've all been there, waiting for someone to heal us, to see the pain we hide, to love us the way we need to be loved. But eventually we realize no one can do that completely, except us. Because when you hand your happiness to someone else, you also hand them your sadness and your power. And when they leave, you're left empty again. You truly reclaim your strength in the moment you say to yourself, enough, I will learn to stand on my own. Becoming the princess of your own life isn't about crowns or perfection. It's about learning to love yourself from within. A girl who once waited to be loved one day learns to love herself. And that very moment, she becomes the queen of her own life. A queen doesn't need anyone to crown her. She creates her own crown from self-respect, compassion, and the peace that comes after the storm. She doesn't need applause to know her worth, because she understands. Real value isn't found in how others see her, but in how she chooses to live, with kindness, with love, and with a gentle light that radiates from within. A woman who knows how to love herself not only saves herself, but also becomes a light, helping others find their way back home to their own hearts. There's a saying I love, often shared by monks. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But the longer I live, the more I realize how true it is. When we carry resentment for too long, when we keep holding on to the heavy memories of the past, the one who suffers most isn't them, it's us. Every time you retell the same painful story, you reopen the wound in your own heart. The more you cling to it, the heavier it feels. And the harder you try to forget, the louder it seems to echo back. Sometimes we think holding on to pain will protect us, as if remembering it will stop us from being hurt again. But in truth, it only keeps us trapped in a cage we built for ourselves. Pain doesn't need to be forgotten to disappear. It only needs to be seen differently. And to do that, we must learn to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because we deserve peace. You can't move forward if you're still carrying your old wounds, your old stories, and all the emotions you've never set down. Letting go doesn't mean erasing the past. It means choosing to stop carrying what's too heavy to hold. I still remember the exact moment my life began to change. It wasn't after some big achievement. It was one quiet night. I was sitting alone, thinking about everything that had happened, and I whispered to myself, "Forgive yourself. You did the best you could with what you knew back then." Just one small sentence, but the tears came. Not from weakness, but from finally embracing myself, my mistakes, my pain and all my imperfect parts. That night, I realized something. Forgiveness isn't something we give to others. It's a gift we give to ourselves. Because only when we forgive, can we truly begin to rewrite our story. Not with the voice of a victim, but with the heart of someone who has learned to heal. Since that moment, I stopped fighting my past. I no longer looked back to blame, but to understand. Every mistake, every heartbreak, was simply life's way of teaching me how to become wiser, softer, and more whole. And maybe that's when I truly began to live again, lighter, freer, and at peace within my own story. You know, after everything, standing back up doesn't have to be a grand comeback. Sometimes it's just a few small steps, but enough to help you take back the power over your own life. Step 1. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what story have I been telling myself lately? Maybe it's, I always end up with the wrong people, or I'm not good enough to be loved. Those thoughts might sound harmless, but really, they're like invisible strings that keep you tied to your past without even realizing it. And you know what? Simply noticing that story is already the first step to breaking free. Step 2. Challenge that old belief. Ask yourself honestly, is this really true? Or have I just repeated it so many times that I started to believe it? Find even one small piece of evidence that you were strong once, that you did something well, that you were enough. Just one small proof, one gentle memory, is all it takes for the first crack to appear in that wall of doubt you've built around your heart. Step 3. Start rewriting your story, but this time, do it with truth and kindness. Instead of saying, I failed, try saying, I learned something from that experience. Instead of, I loved the wrong person, smile softly and say, thanks to that, I know how to love better. You don't have to be perfect to deserve peace. You just need to be honest with yourself and gentle with your old wounds. And one day you'll realize your crown was never gone. It only slipped a little, and now you're strong enough to pick it back up, with hands that have grown steadier and a heart that knows how to love itself again. Because sometimes, standing up doesn't mean starting over. It means continuing forward, with a heart that's learned how to hold itself. You don't need anyone to save you, because you are the hero of your own story. And others may walk beside you for a while, but only you can write the next chapter. And when you finally realize that you are the storyteller, not a side character, you'll stop waiting and start saving yourself. With courage, with understanding, and with love for your own heart. Rumi once said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." I believe that's true. Because every time you rise after being hurt, your light shines a little brighter, warmer, deeper, and more beautiful. Life may knock you down many times, but you will always rise again, slowly adjusting your crown, wiping your tears, and smiling at your scars, because they're no longer marks of pain, but proof that you've survived the storm and are still here, stronger, softer, and shining. And I truly believe you can be queen again. Thank you for listening to Heal and Grow podcast. If tonight your heart feels just a little more at peace, place your hand on your chest and whisper, "I can be queen again." Good night. And remember, Heal and Grow will always be a safe space to rest your soul. You can come back here and talk with me anytime.